Late June of 1991, a teenage boy living near the town of Frankfurt, Wisconsin, saw a strange object in the sky over his family's fields. Now, again, he saw this strange object, but odd lights had been spotted in that area often. However, what he couldn't know is that a couple weeks after his sighting, two children nearby would begin to see a strange, hairy monkey in the woods around their home. Now, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am just another tinfoil hat. Welcome to my show, and a happy, kind of belated New Year. Took my winter break and then was totally walloped with a pretty bad cold, but I am over it now and back in business. So, without further ado, today we will be discussing the fascinating case of the furry Frankfurt freak. These events occurred between 1991 and 92 in the small town of Frankfurt, Wisconsin, and mainly involved the Massman family and a lot of sightings of Bigfoot. However, this case didn't start with Bigfoot. As a matter of fact, Rita Massman told the Wausau Daily Herald that it had actually started with a neighbor's sighting of a UFO. Robert Kosian, a 17-year-old, claimed that while cultivating corn on his parents' farm around 3 o'clock in the morning, he had noticed a large, lighted helicopter-like object in the sky. However, he said that it seemed odd, so eventually he shut the tractor engine off, and that was when he realized that whatever this object was, it was absolutely soundless. Now, as soon as he made this realization, the thing shot off into the sky and vanished. Now, this sighting of the bizarre thing in the sky occurred either very late June or early July of 1991. Shortly thereafter, on the 9th or 10th of July, 10-year-old Raymond Massman found what he referred to as a monkey's footprint in the dirt of his yard of his family home near Frankfurt. He asked his mother, Rita, to come and take a look, but she didn't really take him seriously. Now, shortly thereafter that, on the 11th, Raymond claimed that he spotted this strange, ape-like being standing by the family's shed. Now, although he was initially startled by the being, he decided to go and follow it. He claimed that the creature ran off, but apparently left a chunk of gray fur on the ground. Now, he told his mother, who again just didn't really take him seriously, until the very next day. Before heading into work, Rita was relaxing when all of a sudden the family's entire pack of 5 dogs began barking as though they were upset about something. Raymond ran out with one of his sisters and claimed to have a close sighting of, again, this large ape-like creature, which scared both children so badly that they ran back into the house, just very upset. Now, noticing how upset and frightened that her children were, Rita finally believed them. Her husband Klaus returned home shortly thereafter and, with a neighbor, went looking for the strange creature. However, they didn't find anything. 2 days later, on the 14th, the Massman's 12-year-old daughter claimed that she saw this creature standing out near the shed yet again. The day after this, Raymond was sitting in his bedroom, apparently soaking his finger in cold water after burning it on a waffle iron, and claimed that he saw the Bigfoot-like creature again, this time running past his window. Now, according to Rita, she never actually had a visual sighting of the creature. However, she did say that she heard something very large traipsing through the brush. Then there was the small issue of the disappearing chickens. The Massmans kept chickens on their property in a small pen, and one morning awoke to find that they were simply gone. Not attacked, not eaten. There was no, remnant feathers and, foul carnage. But they were just simply gone. Eventually, they called the Marathon County Sheriff's Department, who turned the case over first to the Department of Natural Resources, and eventually, given how frightened the children were on a consistent basis of this bizarre large creature, the case was referred to social services. The Massmans also came up with their own means of defense. Klaus roamed the marshy 80-acre property with a machete on the lookout for this large ape-like creature, and Rita kept a small pistol on her person for protection. A neighbor even rigged up a bunch of rope, cans, and bottles as some sort of warning system. However, Klaus was the only one to actually trip it. Now, apparently, the Massmans continued having sightings of Sasquatch with no end in sight until the matter was resolved by none other than a psychic. The unidentified woman claimed that she had dealt with a Bigfoot when she was young, and on this occasion simply asked the Sasquatch to leave, saying that it was for his safety as people were hauling rifles into the area. Now, the thing I find most interesting about this case is that early on, Rita made the connection between the UFO sighting that her neighbor had and the beginning of the Sasquatch sightings. However, after the psychic helped her out, she claimed that she knew better than to connect them, which is very intriguing to me given that she believes someone with, apparent psychic abilities was able to get Bigfoot to leave. She even stated in the Wausau Daily Herald that UFOs were pretty common, saying that farmers see them a lot. Just kind of again downplaying that connection between Bigfoot and UFOs because she kind of now is invested in this concept that the psychic was able to get Bigfoot to leave. The thing I really love about this case, however, is because it really follows the same trope that we see very often where a family has, bizarre haunting activity in their home. They're living in a haunted house. They have a ghost problem. And so they bring a psychic in. The psychic, does their resolution of the ghost's unfinished business, and the phenomenon stops. It's just that here, the point of contention was not some sort of phantom, it was a Bigfoot like creature. On the flip side, the thing that is honestly very frustrating about this case and very fascinating as well is that, in my opinion, nothing in the behavior of the Sasquatch like creature leads me to believe it's some sort of, quote unquote supernatural Sasquatch. The behavior doesn't really follow a lot of the patterns that, again, I see as more high strangeness patterning, which of course I enjoy so much. This really just seems kind of like, it may be some simply undiscovered primate of North America. But like with so many cases of the anomalous, once you pin something down, something else pops up. And in this case, it's the perfect timing. You have this veritable Bigfoot haunting, begun by a close UFO sighting, and then ended by a psychic's intervention. Well, if you enjoyed this episode on the furry Frankfurt freak, please like, and if you're new to this field of crop circles, go ahead and subscribe to see what weirdness the future may have in store. Till then, you can keep up with me on my free blog at patreon.com/justanothertinfoilhat. And for today, I am Zelia Edgar, signing off.
Doing.